YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Vero King 93 back in the building with another video. Hey, what's up? AKA the Thirst King. You know what it is. And ladies, man, you know you can slide in my DMs anytime. My Instagram, my Twitch, all that is right there in the corner, right there. You can slide in my DMs. If your man won't eat your ass, I will. No, all jokes aside, all jokes aside. But today we're gonna be reviewing the anime Yasuke on Netflix, man. Let's get into this shit right now. Ooh. Yes. We're gonna have to talk about this anime Yasuke on Netflix. And I'm about to be totally honest, man. I'm disappointed in certain areas of this show, man. First of all, let's talk about it. We only got 6 episodes. Six. And I was like, damn, 6 episodes? Okay, for sure. Okay. We're gonna get a season two, possibly. But you know, after watching this show, I'm like, oh shit, we might not even get a fucking season two, the way this shit was. So basically, you know, Yasuke, you know what I'm saying? He was the black samurai, man, you know, and he's a real samurai in real life. You know, I explained this before. In some of my previous videos. If you want to go check those out. Um, he was a samurai for Nobunaga. I don't always say his damn name wrong. Nobunaga in the Sengoku period around the 1500s, the mid 1500s, possibly the late 1500s, around that time. So you know he was a black samurai. You know he was like basically a servant. You know what I mean? And you know in this show, they kind of just bring up just a little bit. They show his past a little bit. They show him in the future where he's at now after he was a samurai for Oda Nobunaga, and then also just certain clips of when he was a samurai for Oda Nobunaga, which we did not get enough of, which was disappointing as hell. So he originally, basically was a slave or a servant. I think they said servant, but he basically was a slave. You know what I'm saying? And basically, Oda Nobunaga liked him. You know what I'm saying? He seen his skill, the way he fights, and this is a real thing. Oda Nobunaga did see his skill in a fight, and that's why he recruited him as a samurai. Which that's an actual fact. That's one thing they did right in the show, which was true. I read a little bit on him, but Yasuke, man, the show was disappointing, bro. First of all, it started off fire, animation clean. Shouts out to Mappa for that. That shit was clean. Scale one, that gets an A. The animation gets an A. The story, man, bro. What can I say about this story, bro? It just wasn't there, bro. It just wasn't there at all. It was everything was just crammed in. 6 episodes crammed in. There was no development. I didn't fall in love with none of these characters, bro. None of them at all whatsoever. Like there wasn't really any characters that really stood out to me that I really liked. And what I didn't like about the show was the fact that this is supposed to be based off of real life samurai. But what they did was they included robots and magic, which it just didn't mix right. You know what I mean? It just didn't feel right. If you're gonna make a story about somebody's life, like an actual samurai who's somebody, don't twist it up with it. Oh, they have magic and all that. It just ruined the whole show to me. I feel like it should have been a samurai show with just like pure samurai, just people actually sword fighting, catching hands. That's how I felt it should have been. I mean, they could do robots, futuristic, kind of like on some Afro Samurai shit. I don't want to, just keep comparing this to that, but that's like one of the best Black Samurai we got, and one of the few we have that actually pulled it off. So if they want to make a twist, that's fine, but the twist was too much. The magic was just terrible, bro. It was just. I mean, no, it looked tight. Don't get me wrong. Visually, it looked tight, but it's it how do I say this? It just foreshadowed everything. Like he was the only person in the show without magic who was fighting. Everybody either was a robot, has some type of power, and he was the only one that was an actual samurai fighting and catching hands, which was sad as fuck. And he was still whooping a lot of their asses, bruh. That's the sad part. They downplayed him, to be honest, bruh. I thought they would, give him some type of ability or something based off what I seen in the trailer. All this magic and shit. And then when I got in the show, I thought he was gonna get some type of. I thought he was gonna be able to use the, some type of chi abilities or something like that. But nah, this man was just uh, a black dude in Japan who just had set, who was just a skilled fighter, man. He was cold. You know what I mean? And this show just did not. It didn't satisfy me. Besides with the action was satisfying. Rather, whether I liked the magic or the robots or not, it was still satisfying. In certain parts, it was kind of demonic. Just certain little parts of it. It was this priest. He was pretty demonic, and if you're not really into that, I don't check it out. They try to incorporate a bunch of fantasy shit into some real life stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, magic, robots and shit, samurais fighting people, like, getting possessed. Basically, that's all that shit was happening. Samurai getting possessed in that show, it was all happening in there. And then they brought in the whole Catholic Church. Then they threw in religion, which was kind of just kind of threw everything off. You know what I'm saying? That priest being talking about Catholics and shit. I'm like, I felt like they could have just left that out. You know what I'm saying? It didn't even have to be a religious thing. It could have just been some dude who just in tune with, God, but they didn't have to say, necessarily what religion it was. But it's all good. I'm not knocking, religion. I just feel like that just wasn't needed. But I felt like the show, it could have focused more on his life from him being a servant slash slave all the way up, through all the campaign he went through with Obu Nobunaga. So, you know what I'm saying? Him becoming a slave, he was already a slave, and then him getting, hired basically by Obu Nobunaga, and then him tackling through the campaign, just watching them conquer Japan, together. I thought that's what the show was going to be about. And then, I think that's what I felt like it should have been about. Then they could have, maybe added some robots, just a twist here and there. I didn't care about that. But that's how I felt the story should have went, about Yasuke. It felt like it wasn't about Yasuke at one point. It really felt like it wasn't about Yasuke. We should have got that. We should have got all that up until Oda Nobunaga's end, and then then possibly season 2 could have continued what he did afterwards or something like that. It possibly could have been like that. I'm not saying it should be, but it could possibly be like that. But that's what I would have enjoyed. But instead, we got this story. Basically, after Oda Nobunaga's death, he basically was just living a normal life. He was a boatsman, a black boatsman. Black people, he was black. He wasn't looked frowned upon the village that he was living in. They fucked with him. It was just when he became a samurai, they wasn't really messing with him. They didn't show him no respect. The only person who showed him respect was Oda Nobunaga and this one chick in the show. I'll get to her later. I forgot her name already, but I'll get to that. But where was I going with this? Okay, so basically, he just becomes a boatsman, man, and he's just at peace. After fighting wars with Oba Nobunaga, of course, who wouldn't want peace? You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to find peace within himself and the land. He's still. I'm assuming. He understands it to this day. He understands it because he's been around for a while, but for over 20 years. But it's still. He's still black in Japan. He's not really culturally accepted by everyone, but the people in his village, they accept him. But he basically, lives in that village. He ends up, it's this girl, I guess she's been sick for the longest. The mother basically asked him for help to help take her to see a doctor. And, it turns out she wasn't even sick. She wasn't even really sick. She had some type of special powers that I still don't understand. She's like, it's like telekinesis and shit. She can move shit, push shit, do all, like, deteriorate shit. It's crazy. And she was, ever since I didn't like her. Her name was Saki, I believe. I think that's what her name was. She was a interesting character to a certain point. Like, she was sick, coughing and shit. I thought she was dying. But throughout the show, like, she wasn't even dying, bruh. It was just like, it had something to do with that power that was causing her to have these fevers and shit. And when she started using the power, that fever just slowly started going away. And it was just stupid to me. Like you mean to tell me this bitch wasn't sick the whole time? It's because of the powers and shit. Like, It'll come when she's not using the powers. It'll come here and there, and then this bitch got the nerve to, she ended up teaming up with Yasuke and shit. He ends up protecting her, and she needs his protection, but she tried to pretend like she didn't need his protection because she started learning her abilities too fast. Like she just started learning this shit. Like it's 6 episodes, everything's happening so fast. She's doing every episode. She's stronger than the last episode. It's a fucking complete mess. It's just too much. It's not enough episodes. You guys are cluttering this show. Like it's too much bullshit going on at once. I would prefer a breakdown of each episode from her learning her powers, her learning things, him getting better as a fighter, possibly, a real villain. That the villain in this shit was trash. We can get into that. But Saki, she basically she was just not interested. She told Yasuke like I don't really need your help. I have powers. Like basically that's basically what she told him. Like what the fuck? He's helping you out. You guys came to him in the first place. He didn't want to help the mother and her originally. He didn't want to fuck with them, but being the honorable dude he is, and he don't want to see them get hurt, he helped them out anyway. This show is just, gosh, man. I think we just needed to extend that out to 12 episodes, not 6. Gosh, man, it's just the writing, man, and then just it being short. That's what ruined this show. The ending, I didn't even understand. I still don't understand her abilities, Saki, and I don't understand it. It's like she had these like I said, she had telekinesis abilities. She ended up being in this like transparent world in between heaven and hell and earth or something like that. And then this is like certain spirit that just wanted her power or something like that. And the little girl was stronger than her. I'm like, and they're not explaining necessarily why she's really stronger than her. What makes her special? Who is she? Was she born of a god? They're not explaining. I don't know, bro. It just was a mess, man. The writing needed help, and we needed more episodes. And it just wasn't enough. And so I feel like they just pushed this shit out, like just like a drop 6 episodes. That's what we're giving them, and that's gonna be the story. I feel like we're not getting a season 2 the way that shit ended, bro. Yasuke didn't die or nothing like that, but Then he had these like mercenaries, man. They were robots. One could turn into a bear. One was this buff bitch with nice ass titties. Oh my god. And there was this other fine ass chick. She had like some type of like scythe blade or something like that. Man, she had her breasts was nice. Ooh, thirst king. But yeah, they were irrelevant characters, man. I mean, at first, they were in the show basically to kidnap the girl. They were hired by that priest to hit. They were just thugs for hire. That's basically all they were. And basically, they're the ones who basically killed the little girl's mother. So we'll get into that in a minute. So basically, they're just thugs for hire. And it turns out these fools all just met themselves. You know what I'm saying? They were just sent after that girl. One was a robot. One could turn into a bear. It's a couple of them. It was like 4 or 5 of them. Whatever. And basically, they fought Yasuke and the mother. They ended up killing the mother, basically. They shot off her arm with this beam. It was some crazy shit. And basically, after that, after they fight Yasuke and shit, they start coming after the little girl because of her powers, because they were hired by the priest. After the priest died, that was basically it. Like they didn't like Yasuke, but Yasuke ended up teaming up with them later because the little girl hired them to help them fight this last war against the spirit in the army she hired, which was stupid. Like, I mean, the battle was tight, don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, oh my god, I just don't know where to go with this show, bro. I just don't know, bro. It just was nothing there for me, bro, besides the action. That's all that was there for me. The story should have been like this. It should have been like Yasuke. Okay, if it wasn't gonna go the route that I wanted to go by Oda Nobunaga and his campaign, then it should have been this girl. What makes her so important is she's possibly like some type of heir to some clan or something like that. He's trying to protect her. And, she's been living in that village. They were trying to hide her identity until she got old enough to rule or run the clan, whatever. I feel like it should have been something like that. And he's protecting her, and it's his job to make sure she becomes the rightful heir to that clan. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. It should have been something like that, man. It should have been something like that. But no, it was just complete chaos, man. I didn't need the magic. I didn't need people transforming into monsters. I didn't need spirits. I just needed samurais. I'm a samurai fan. I just need samurais throwing hands, battling it out. The blood and gore was fire. And to be honest, what I felt like would have helped bring this show to life and what was needed in this was some sex. It was some chick in there. She, man, bro, he should have smashed some chick in his past. I felt like they was about to smash, and I was like, okay, for sure, I'm about to get hard watching this show. But nah, that's not what happened, man. I was limp dick. But anyway, he never smashed. I feel like sometimes because sex sells, it sometimes brings the character to life. It just I'm not watching it because I wanted to see sex all the time. It's just I just felt like with this type of show being how gory it is, the direction it was going, I felt like sex would have just should have been a part of it. You know what I'm saying? They throw sex and everything else. Afro Samurai, like look at him, look at Afro. Afro is the most antisocial nigga you ever met in your life, nigga. He has one goal, never win the headband. Yasuke, he's not as antisocial. He's willing to help people. Even Afro got some booty, but he didn't. That's sad. But I feel like it would have worked. This is a TVMA show. It should have been that. But man, I'm kind of done talking about this shit because I was just so disappointed in the story, and I just don't want to talk about it because it was nothing there for me. It wasn't the story was not enjoyable to me. The fights, like I said, that was it. That was the most enjoyable thing about this shit. On a scale of 1 to 10, nigga, I'm giving this shit a 5.5. And what saved it was Yasuke himself being the realest nigga in the show, just throwing hands, no magic, and whooping ass. That's the sad. Man, they should have. It was no balance. There was no balance to these characters, bruh. It was just jumpy all over the fucking place. There's more to it than that. But this is just me talking my shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna go ahead and end this review. Like I said, 5.5. Oh, hold up. Before we go, let's talk about that intro. Oh my god, bruh. Let's talk about that intro real quick. I don't want to leave it. Hell nah. Let's talk about the intro. That shit was boo boo, my nigga. I felt the beat, but the lyrics to that shit was just boring. It was putting me to sleep. I'm just like, what the fuck, bruh? Like I would expect this show to be a lot better than this because uh the dude who did Cannon Busters did this shit. I don't know. I'm so bad with names right now, bro. I'm disappointed, bro. I'm really disappointed. That's why I'm like I can barely remember names. My bad. I had to check that out. It was bad. The dude who did Cannon Busters did this, and basically, at least with Cannon Busters, it was a good story. Character design was cool too. Not with all the characters, but some. But like Philly the Kid, his character design was crazy, bro. It was I loved his fro, his design. I mean, the character designs were good in this one too. I actually that's one thing I forgot to mention. The character designs were great in this as well. Yeah, they were. Nobody was out of place. Like I said, that's part of the animation too as well. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. In the description below, you can find my Twitch. You guys can follow me on Twitch. And also in the description, you can find all the channels that I affiliate with. They're pop culture channels and anime channels, but I'm sure they'll touch on anime here and there. All great people. They all motivated me to do YouTube. And please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this show as well. Was it trash? I'm not saying I got the best reviews, but I'm just talking. I'm just talking about something I enjoy. But thank you guys all for pulling up. I'm the Virgo King, and I'm out. Peace.